This weekend, Elestrals hosted its largest webcam tournament ever with 126 different players participating out of the 128 player cap that is allowed for these events. After a long day of play, there were only 8 players left standing. So today we're going to be taking a look at all top 8 deck lists, giving my opinions on them, and just taking a look at what the top players in this tournament were running. Before we get started, I do want to apologize for no face cam. I've kind of just been dealing with a little bit of a migraine all day, and I just don't really want to deal with lights in my face at the moment. So we're just not really going to have one for today, but I still really wanted to get this video out, so I'm just going to be doing it like this. So the first deck is 6, and he is on Blizzrix. I'm pretty sure he's ran this in like the last 3-4 events, and he's actually been the most consistent person to top with it that I've seen. I think he's genuinely topped with it like the last 3-4 events that he's ran in, which is weird considering how inconsistent Blizzrix is, but this dude has apparently figured it out, and he's very consistent with it. So he's just running a normal Blizzrix package, nothing really too spicy inside of the main deck. You've got your 3 Cedar Sword, Harpoon, Astrabbit, got your Catarant, and then Emphyrix to bring back stuff and heal. Your Morphrost package, so that way you can turn on your Moralith and also just utilize the package to help you go wide and ascend over stuff. Your 3 Snowlets, 3 Asperals, and 3 Blizzrix to make sure that you hit as much as possible. Moralith is there because it's just a big body that as long as you're behind on, or not behind, but as long as you've got more guys in your underworld, you're just going to easily be able to slap down. And pretty much this deck should always have more guys unless it's literally like turn 1. So yeah, it's pretty much always just a live 6/4 body that's hard to out most of the time. Pretty consistent, great deck. You got the 3 Tsunamis, 3 Rise, 3 Shield, 3 Gorgons. They don't really care about PTA and stuff because they're just bigger than everything, so there's really no reason for them to run PTA. Shield is there just to protect their guys and make sure that way they can still get their effects off if need be. Really good deck. He's got the 1 Sorlet here. This is probably to help deal with other Blizzrix decks, just because Sorlet can change Blizzrix to defense and help deal with it. Also, Sorlet just can out-rabbit and other stuff. Sorlet's has a rise in popularity recently, and I've been telling everybody for a long time that this card is just phenomenal, and I'm glad to see that it's actually starting to see an increase in play in a spot that it deserves. Got Catarant in here in case he needs more healing, and this is the best sideboard option I think that this deck can run. It's 3 Magnetic Force Field, which literally is just says as long as you're taking like a burn effect, you can not take the burn effect and then burn them for 2, which this deck's biggest weakness is burn itself, so being able to side 3 copies of them and just say Uno reverse, you take 2 now, especially on like an eruption that they've already spent 2 on, is extremely strong. This should be a 3 of in the sideboard for pretty much every Blizzrix deck moving forward. You got 3 Hurricane in the side, just because a lot of people aren't respecting it, and this deck can easily go off with Hurricane, so I like it. Cryoblast, just in case I run up against like a 5s type deck. It's great in the side for this deck, just in case you come up against the mirror, because it's very terrible. And not many matchups you really need this, due to the fact that you're just bigger and wider than everything else. And then you've got your 3 Mountains of Boreas. This really helps in the Lunar aggro matchup because they can't really do anything to out a Moralith. Like, unless they have very, very specific cards, it's just extremely hard for them to out pretty much anything on your board. So Mountains of Boreas is also a really good sideboard card for this. This is a very, very good deck and a good way to look at the Blizzrix as a whole. This is probably one of the cleanest Blizzrix lists that I've seen. You've got 3 Water Spirits here, just for all the water stuff. You've got your Hurricanes and all that. 2 Zaptor, 3 Lycoris, and then you've got your 12 Frost Spirits, because Frost needs a lot of spirits in order to operate. So, very good deck. Obviously, the fact that he's been able to consistently top with one of the most inconsistent deck is also a very, very good feat. So, congratulations to 6 for that. Next up, we have Adams. This is pretty much just like Frost 5s, kind of. He's just playing like Narpoons to find your few Frost guys that he's got, and then he's just playing 5s, kind of. I mean, I guess not. Well, yeah, kind of. It's a weird blend, because he's not really utilizing the Frost Spirits all that much. It's pretty much just for the Cryoline, and then his 2 Cryoblast and Blizzard that he's got, or 3 Cryoblast, 2 Blizzard that he's got. But it also is very effective because he can just pay the counter runes with the Frost, save his other spirits for everything else, and then eventually his Cryoline will just be turned on, and he's just got a big 7/4 body that's kind of hard to out. People kind of forgot that Cryoline into Cryovern is still a pretty powerful combo. So good job on Adam for taking this deck to top 8. Yeah, so he's got Zeus's obviously help to deal with like rabbits and stuff like that. You've got your Ambrosias, PTA, Shield, and Gorgons. Very typical counter rune package here, nothing in the counter runes that are very spicy. His side deck, 1 Frostmite, just because of like rabbits and stuff like that. Also, it deals with galaxies. Galaxy also deals with Galaxy. The one thing though is just the fact that you want to be misenchanting your Cryovern, so Galaxy plus Cryovern sometimes ends up being a weird combo, but yet it can also be your best answer to an opposing Galaxy if you don't have specifically Spectaris in hand. Because, like I said, you want to be misenchanting your Cryovern, so Galaxy can be very detrimental to the Cryovern package. Then you've got your Boombats here, just for probably Blistrix and any other big guy type of matchup. Catarant for more heals, Frostmite, 3rd Tsunami, Hurricane, because Argo is really popular and people are stopping to respect Argo at all. Waxing Gibbous for Lunar Phase matchups, or Lunar Aggro matchups, and then Spoiled Fruit because Heal Stall is extremely impactful, as shown already. And then, very clean Spirit package. He's got 5 Water, 5 Zaptor, 2 Lunar for his Spectaris, and then just the rest are Frost, so that way he's got a decent amount to turn on his Cryoline and also not worry about going too low. So, very good deck. I like it. Apparently I missed the side deck on this, so I will be right back. Alright, we're back. So this is Shuret's list here in its entirety now that it has its Spirit and side deck. So he's playing kind of like the Lunar Argo package, but instead of going the Earth route with the Equal Links, he decided that he was going to go Fire and play Kinleo instead. And honestly, I think this is a pretty good meta call for a few reasons, but we'll get into that later. First off, he's got Ash Rabbit here. Ash Rabbit is extremely powerful for its ability to just recycle cards that are already in your underworld. Plus, not only that, with Kinleo nexusing to it, you can trigger this multiple times. But the fact that it is pretty much a late game card, you don't really want to be drawing this in the mid. Well, you can draw it in the mid game and it's decent, but you want to be drawing it towards at least the end of the mid game, plus like the later game is where this card thrives the most at, when you have the most resources in your underworld. Kinleo is extremely strong just due to the fact that as long as you can play King of the Castle with it and just consistently protect Kinleo, they really can't stick a guy due to the fact that every single turn you can just Nexus and destroy something. So Kinleo is extremely strong. Not very many Elestrals have inbuilt removal, let alone repeatable inbuilt removal. The only thing that keeps this card being banned, in my opinion, is the fact that you can easily Cryoblast this as long as it has no other, like, Forge plus other spirits on it. So, Kinleo, in my opinion, really, really strong card that a lot of people are starting to pick up now, and you can see by the increased play rate of Fire. Nekruff here. Nekruff, everybody's honorary water puppy, but Nekruff in this deck is also pretty strong due to the fact that you can utilize the Argo package and then randomly just destroy their guy on their own attack and burn them for 1. Plus, with everybody playing Argo and the packages itself, they are pretty costly, so Nekruff's burn is actually pretty effective nowadays, whereas beforehand it was not nearly as effective. Got 1 copy of Lavalith, it's a really strong card that enables comeback ability. Plus also, if you need to, you can hard ascend over pretty much any of your fire guys and still get its ability. Just the ability to just pop a back row or even a divine and then swing over something with a big body is still extremely relevant, and people shouldn't sleep on Lavalith. People had gotten to a point where they didn't think Lavalith was all that great, but it's still a fantastic card. 3 Eddie, because Eddie's really, really good. Don't really need to get much into that. Small Tuga to search out any of your fire guys. It's essentially a 3rd copy of Kinleo, 2nd of Ash Rabbit, 4th of Necroth. 3 Ash Rabbit because it's the best in the game. No real discussion on that. Elechic to find Zeus. Still, Zeus is the best divine in the game. Then you've got your Lunar Aggro package here with the Werepub Like a Void Full Moon here. Typical removal and back row. Nothing really too spicy here. He's not running the Necklist though. Probably due to the fact that he's got a lot of decently lower statted guys, or I don't know if I said Necklace or Scythe, but he's running 2 Necklace instead of a Scythe. Just probably due to the fact that Scythe is not nearly as powerful on like Kinleo, plus also it can't be it can't be fire enchanted, so Kinleo can utilize the fire enchantment off of the double Necklace instead of the Scythe. So that makes perfect sense there. 1 Flurmine, just due to the fact that he's got the Cryoblast in his side deck, so he's going to side that in when he sides into like 5s matchups. Small Tuga here and Krakatuga here. Interesting that he's playing Krakatuga, but a lot of people have been kind of shifting to this, again, due to how expensive the Argo package is. If you can get Krakatuga off plus Eruption, Argo packages are kind of just going to lose the game right on the spot, due to the fact that you're literally burning them for 6, and if they've already got an Argo off, they've spent at least 4, plus they're probably towards the end of the game if you're doing Eruption anyways. So it's pretty much going to signify the end of the game if you can slap a Krakatuga down, so I really like it actually. Got your No Stone here. No Stone here, so that way you can search Lavalith or Krakatuga out with it. A lot of people have been doing this. I think it's a little awkward and clunky, but at the same time, it can just, like I said, end a game on the spot if you can get it off. So the ability to have another copy without having it as like a full brick card is also still pretty good. So I do see the purpose of it at least. You got 3 Eruption here. Again, Argo packages, expensive, Eruption good. I said that last week in my video on my scrap deck, so makes sense. I like the fact that a lot of people are picking Eruption up in order to counter out artifact, or like the artifact Argo type decks. I think Argo decks are going to start siding in Magnetic Force Field in order to help deal with this, but that's just a discussion for a later time. 1 Tsunami here, just to fill out if he's not playing against a water deck. Divine Blessing for heal stall, plus also Blisterix. PTA in case he needs more removal. All of that, very solid, makes sense. Got your 2 Earth Spirits here for either No Stone or your Earthquake. You've got 6, 8 Fire Spirits here for all your fire shenanigans that you want to do. You want to have a decent amount so that way you can Eruption, Krakatuga stuff, plus also you've got your Kinleo and your Nexus Banks that you need. So you do need a decent amount of fire, so that looks good. 3 Water here. Yeah, it makes sense with the ratios that he's got. He's got 3, 6 guys. Makes sense to me. For Zaptor, good ratios. Like I said, just all around good ratios. He's got the 3 here just so he can utilize the Werepup plus Like a Void ability and also Full Moon with it. He doesn't necessarily need to enchant a spirit on it. He just needs to utilize the Like a Void in order to not be affected by counter runes and also just have piercing damage. So good deck. Makes sense why he made it. And we've got another fire deck to look at next. I think this is Big Kahuna, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head. He's also playing the Ash Rabbit for similar reasons. It's a good card. Kinleo, Necroth. He's going the Rumakul and Volcanic Forge just to have another Nexus Bank due to the fact that he's not running the Argo package, which I think it's one of the very few people in the top 8 not running the Argo package. He's playing Thunderstorms in here. Anything else in particular? Warmite Goat. He's got 1 copy of Wormite in here. This card, I'm telling you, don't sleep on this card. Been saying it for a long time, extremely strong. But other than that, very typical stuff for Fire Nexus. Side deck, he's got 1 Wind Spirit, 1 Frost Spirit, due to the fact that he's got Hurricane and Cryoblast in his side. An extra Ash Rabbit if he needs it, Boom Bat for big guy matchups. Eruptions, because Argo packages right now, and Eruption's just extremely strong as long as you're not against fire. Divine Blessing for Blizz and also Heal Stall, and then Spoiled Fruit for Heal Stall. So, very, very solid list. Spirit deck, he's got 10 Vipyro, 5 Zaptor, 3 Water Spirits, and 2 Terratless. Very clean math. Nothing looks really bad about this list. It's actually a very clean list. I don't think I would change anything about this list. Maybe have an Argo package in the sideboard just to be able to help counteract other people's Argo packages. But that's just a possibility. Obviously, it worked out pretty well for him since he made it in the top 8. Next is a Tornadin list here. Pretty typical Tornadin list by this point. I think it's very similar, if not exactly what Adam was running. I think maybe Adam wasn't running the Sorlet before. But 3 Eddy, 3 Aster Rabbit, Elegit, Quackle. This Quackle is in here so that way Tornadin players can guarantee a heal card off of Tornadin. Because you go Quackle, Ambrosia, Calfmel, and no matter what, you've got a heal card there. So that's why the Quackle is a tech in there. Adam is the one who popularized that. And then Sorlet here, just an extremely strong card. Like I said, I don't know if he played it in the main deck, but it is extremely strong. And just showing its popularity recently. You've got the Winjin Tornadin package here. Just Winjin guarantees Winjin proc on the second turn just due to the fact that you foretell. He doesn't have any other stuff. No First Light, no Apollo or anything like that. So he's literally just calling it blind off of the knowledge of his deck, and then the next turn, if he misses it, re-enchanting it, going into Tornadin that way, and gaining a bunch of resources. Which, I don't know, I would like to see at least like First Light or Apollo in here somewhere. It's just, it feels like just flying blind with a Winjin can end up biting you in the butt in the long run. You've got 2 Galaxy here, because Galaxy is Galaxy's best answer, with the exception of Spectaris. I think, honestly, I probably would have put Spectaris in here over Galaxy, just due to the fact that Galaxy crashes with Galaxy, and Spectaris also shuts things down that are not necessarily Galaxy. Boombat for big guys, 3rd Sorlet, in case he needs it. If he needs more heals, Calfmel. Hurricane, because people are stopping to respect it. Cryoblast for 5s matchups. PTA for more removal. And then he's got Spoiled Fruit for heal stall matchups. Everybody's teching at least 2 Spoiled Fruit. Honestly, I think people are going to have to start going to 3 Spoiled Fruit at a minimum, just due to the fact that heal stall is one of the most prevalent and strongest decks, and I've been saying that for a while. Got 2 Earth Spirits here for his Earthquake. 4 Water Spirits, 5 Thunder Spirits, 4 Wind Spirits, and then 5 Solar Spirits. Everything here looks pretty clean. It doesn't really look like he's wanting for anything, because he doesn't really need too much wind. He needs it to Sorlet effect, and then Winjin, and also possibly re-enchant Winjin. So there's the 4 there. Everything in this looks really good, with the exception of just, I would change out the Galaxy for the Spectaris, but that's just personal preference. Next, we have Bean's Soldiers list. And I'll be honest, this list looked a little whack to me in the beginning, but according to Bean himself, this is more consistent than the original Lunar Aggro list. Not Lunar Aggro, the original Lego list, Earth Lunar Aggro list. So he's running Antitan. He's got 2 Ardbud here. Ardbud is actually a really good card. I said this when I did my profile on my Bug Box deck, because a lot of the good cards right now in the meta are bugs like Viserys, Spectaris, Nobby. Not only does it allow you to find your good bugs in your deck whenever you want them, it also allows you to go into Ardvarum, which says when you cast this Aardvarm, you can search your deck for a bug card, add it to your hand. You can target and destroy a bug Elestral, which normally it's yours. But if they're playing bugs also, because bugs are some of the best cards in the game, a lot of people are playing Viscerous, Spectaris, and Nobbies right now, you can easily simply destroy an opponent's Elestral and then ascend to Titan, which is an extremely big guy in your deck. And then you can just discard a bug and continuously pop guys and back row and stuff like that. And at that point, apparently, if you can get the Titan off and get the effect off, you're just pretty much winning the game at that point. Equalinx is in here because Equalinx is broken and just pops a rune every single turn. Rummagem in order to fight an Equalinx. Ardbud in some specific cases, and your Viscerous. You've got 3 Eddy in here because Eddy is Eddy. Aster because it's broken. Elechick is extremely good to find your Demeter to turn on your Equalinx package. You've got 2 Spectaris here because it shuts off Galaxies and also is searchable by Ardbud, and it shuts down a lot of different cards that rely on its ability. And then you've got your small lunar aggro package here of your 2 Werepups, Like a Void and Full Moon. Full Moon is extremely strong just in general due to the fact that since you have Nobby in your sideboard, you can utilize it with that Nobby, and you can utilize it with like you can utilize it with any of your Earth guys, and then hard ascend into Titan if you need to. There's a lot of different versatile plays that this deck allows with Full Moon. You've got your pretty typical Argo package at this point. Your Scythe of Demeter plus your Necklace of Harmonia. Extremely strong right now. Everything in the rest of the deck is pretty standard. Side deck, you've got your Nobbies that you can find. Boombats for Blizz matchup. 3rd Tsunami. 3 Cryoblast. And then Laurel's PTA and Shield. This is pretty much just if he needs a bunch more removal. He's got 6 different 6, 7, 8 different removal cards that he can easily just bring in from his sideboard. Plus also Nobby is extremely strong if they're not on Lunar. And then Spirit Math, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Teratlus, 5 Owloon, 4 Zaptor, and then 3 Water Spirits. Everything about this, at first I thought it felt a little clunky, but the more he talked about it and explained the thought process behind it, this deck actually seems very solid. And honestly, it kind of makes me want to run Titan for the first time, but I'm not really sure about that. Next, we have the second place person, Diamax. His list is probably one of the more unique lists that we've seen. Diamax always brings something at least pretty interesting, if not very interesting. And today he brought something that honestly I didn't even have on my radar as a possibility to be brought. This man brought Celestlio. And honestly, it's mainly just a big guy. He even said it in himself in the deck list that they did with the Elestronauts. If you haven't seen that, go check that out after this video. But pretty much, it's just a big guy, and as long as it had any text on it, it would have been good. That was literally his explanation for Celestlio. Celestlio sometimes destroys cards, but not all the time. But the main reasoning was the fact that it was just a big guy. And the way he got his Celestlio out was Exaltus. If you look, Celestlio says Nexus up to 2 solar. When you do, you can search your deck for an Ethereal, I believe that is, Elestral, and add it to your hand. And that's Celestlio. Also, if he really needed it, he can add Galaxair or technically Rabbit to his hand because those are also Ethereals. But mainly it was just to get the Celestlio out and be able to ascend into it. And the way he kept his Exaltus safe in order to do that was through both Necklace of Harmonia and Poison Tunic. He explained the reasoning for Poison Tunic was 2 things. 1, obviously you can't Nexus off of Scythe for Exaltus, so that was part of it. And then 2, Necklace only boosts his attack, so if he ever gets swapped to defense, Exaltus was pretty much dying to Eddy, whereas you could utilize Poison Tunic, put your Eddy's attack down to 2, and then that would save your Exaltus from dying, and then you can Nexus off of it into Celestlio or whatever you needed to next turn. He's got the 3 Lumeru here that are pretty standard now in solar decks, 3 Calf Mel because it heals and it's strong, 3 Eddie, Astro Rabbit, Elechick, all broken cards. Got 2 Tsunami here because if you run into a water deck you don't want all 3. Zeus because it's literally the best Divine Rune in the game. Cryoblast for 5s matchups, plus with Zeus it's a weird Earthquake so it makes for better removal. We've got 3 Ambrosia here because healing's OP. Resting because it's extremely strong for comeback situations. And then 3 Shield for just pretty much bouncing back big guys because a lot of people right now are off PTA due to that reasoning. Just PTA, you still have to take like 5 damage, or you take the damage from killing them, plus also you take the damage from their attack still, so it's not nearly as effective right now with a bunch of big guys running around. I still personally run PTA a lot of the time. That's just me because I like cards that save remove. And shield for me always somehow gets sniped. So just the fact that right now I'm still on PTA. A lot of people aren't, but like I said, I like it. 3 Argo because Argo is very popular. It allows you to just get out your necklace and consistently protect your guys. Then 3 Gorgons because it's the best counter rune in the game. And then his side deck is pretty good too. Actually, it's a very solid side deck considering the metagame right now. You got 3 Heliolith because Argo's popular. Heliolith is kind of Argo's best friend and Argo's worst enemy at the same time, due to the fact that it just allows you to special cast him out if your opponent has a normal chance. Yeah, as long as they have an artifact, you can just bounce or play Heliolith, bounce something, and then attack over something else. So, while it works great in tandem with Argo decks, it also is very strong against them. Plus, he's natively on Solar, so this is an easy fit for his sideboard. Got 2 Magnetic Force Field because Burn is very strong against Argo packages, so he was not tolerating that. He was not getting burned for game. You got Hurricane right here, just due to the fact that people aren't respecting it, and it's extremely strong against other Argo decks and themselves, because they want to have a lot of set runes. They want to have their Argo sets, their shield sets, they just want to be playing a decent amount of sets. So just having the ability to Hurricane them is extremely strong. Dense Fog here just kills Galaxy, kills a lot of other cards that rely heavily on their ability. Then you've got Waxing Gibbous for the Lunar matchup. Divine Blessing is for your Blizz matchups, and then Spoiled Fruit for Healstall. And then next we have the winner of the entire tournament. Been saying it for a while, told everybody it's a problem, nobody believed me. Heal won the tournament. I will be honest, this is not as much of a heal stall variant as a lot of people are playing. However, this deck is still a, I would say, heal tempo deck more than anything, due to the fact that it plays a decent amount of bodies that can actually kill stuff, but it still has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thought there was 11 in here. Oh, Arclith. 11 cards that can essentially heal you in the game, so it's like a quarter of its deck plus 1 card is healing. So you really can't call this not heal, but I would call it more of a heal tempo deck than a heal stall deck for this variant in particular. He's got your Lavalith here, 3 Astrabbit, Elechick, pretty typical. Then you've got 3 Quackle, of course, Arcalith, because he's a big guy that allows you to just swing for massive damage when you're behind. And this deck does want to play behind a decent amount, honestly. Got 3 Calf Mouse for heal, 2 Lumeru, Heliolith because Argo's very popular. Like I said, works with and against it. 3 Spectaris. Spectaris is extremely strong right now. He said in the videos with the Elestronauts that actually just came out today that he pretty much was just losing to Galaxy a lot, so he put Spectaris in here so he didn't lose to Galaxy. 1 Earthquake because Earthquake is just unconditional removal. Your Scythe, Zeus package, Cryoblast, all of that makes sense. Cryoblast plus Zeus equals Earthquake. Then you've got your Ambrosia, Laurels, pretty much all the cards that say destroy, they're playing in this deck. 2 Shield, 3 Argo, and then you've got your 3 Gorgons because it's the best in the entire game. 3 Boombat, more cards that say remove, and also big guy matchups, they really need this because they will struggle against it. Another Cryoblast, another card that says remove. Heliolith, another kinda pseudo removal card in the fact of Argo decks, and plus you can also just play an artifact and utilize it as removal yourself, as seen by Bo playing it in the Dallas Open. You've got 3 Eruptions here. Not only is it extremely strong right now just against Argo packages themselves, you're just gonna be outpacing your opponents when it comes to life, and eventually they're just gonna get lower than you no matter what. So Eruption is extremely strong as long as they're not on fire decks, but because fire is actually decently prevalent, I like it in the side. Cryoblast, because more removal. Then Divine Blessing for Blizzstrix matchups. Shield, because in case they need to be bouncing more stuff back, and probably for like Blizz matchups and stuff like that, they'll side out a PTA for Shield. And then 3 Spoiled Fruit, like I said, even the Heal Stall player, well, not Heal Stall, I called this Heal Tempo. Even the Heal Tempo player is playing 3 copies of Spoiled Fruit in itself. So that just kind of shows you exactly how strong Heal is, and the fact that even Heal has 3 copies of Spoiled Fruit in order to counteract itself. For the Spirit deck, he's got 4 Earth Spirits, for Earthquake and Scythe. That's all he needs it. He doesn't really need to run an abundance of any of the spirits that he has due to the fact that he can easily heal them. He's got the 2 Fire Spirits in here for Eruption plus Lavalith. And then he's got 7 Zaptors in here, which is honestly more than I expected him to have. Probably just due to the fact that he's got Zeus, Rabbit, Elechic, Arcolith. All these want to have a decent amount of Thunder Spirits. Well, these 4 cards want you to have spirits in the grave, but you also have to be able to play Zeus and your other stuff with it. So I guess that makes sense. 1 Frost Spirit for Cryoblast. Honestly, with the second one in the side, I don't really like that. I feel like 1 more would be optimal, but I'm not running his list, so maybe this was just all the room that he felt like he really could have, was the 1 Frost Spirit. You've got 4 Luminape, so that way he can play the solar half of his deck, solar portion of his deck, due to the fact that he's got 3 Calfmel. Like I said, he really doesn't need to worry about having too many Luminapes. And then he's got 2 Aloons, again with the Calfmel, even though he's running 3 Spectaris. That's all he needs for it, for the most part anyways. If he ever does need an extra Lunar Spirit, he can always recycle it with the Calfmel. But that's the winner's deck. Congratulations to Julian. I still hate heal decks, and I still think there needs to be a genuine answer to the deck. Fantastic deck. I'm not shying away. I'm not saying this is bad deck building. This is a fantastic and great built deck. However, I hate these types of decks. That's just me personally, though. Everybody else has their own play style, and to each their own. However, this just kind of shows what I've been talking about for a long time with just how powerful heal truly is. But that's the last deck list. Let me know what you think of any of the deck list and some changes that you might make to their list. I hope you all have a good day, and peace.